Today, we're talking about understanding upside and downside on the marketplace, understanding what charts you should be buying in. We will also touch Neiro situation currently, Neiro CTO situation and Neiro Cabal situation, because arrest of the CEO of Godbit and everything that's happening around this thing, some exposing that is happening behind the team of Neiro CTO is what's very, very important in the marketplace. And you might not care at this stage, guys, this is the main narrative of this cycle. There is a reason out of hundreds of runners for this year for memecoins, Binance only stole Neiro. Only this one. There are reasons for that. They do understand this. They've been robbing retail for years. They are professionals in the game. We have to follow the professionals. We have to understand what is happening. I can't believe Stan did it again. Who is the best trader out there? Let's check. Like, the trade that I think you should be taking currently is short SPX and long Trump. This was short yesterday with you at $700 million per SPX. We are correcting since then. It does not diminish that I do think we might see final exit pump, final all-time high, like maybe 700 million, something like this. After that, this shit is dead. It's fucking dead. It's going to zero. Trump, meanwhile, it was short at $4.2 yesterday. It's 4.7. Am I actually moving the markets on this channel? This is just crazy to me. Let's check out other segment here. Ideally, you would want to be entering on the handle, right? You don't want to be buying into the charts like this. We are not in the market setup where things will just go infinitely and only 10 coins will just go up because people are greedy. You can see it with GIGA happening already. GIGA switched into Sigma, switched into Alpha. Alpha I gave you Alpha 1 day ago, it did a 5x. I gave you Alpha 2 days ago, it did it 8x. 8x on Alpha. I was showing it on my channel at $1 million market cap for you for absolutely fucking free. $7.7 million at this stage. Let's check out what is happening with GIGA. Our favorite gay cockled meme coin was cracked into, let's check market cap. Price does not matter. Market caps is what matters. Remove drawings. So $350 million market cap from the all-time high of 500 million. Exactly as predicted. To be honest, it's quite easy to say. So to claim the cloud here, like everyone who's like a trader on the marketplace or is active would be able to say that, right? However, I do also expect that we might be seeing exit local all-time high pump. And after that, it's going to fucking zero as a gay cockled club out there. So this is the article that I wanted to check from Psycho. Here's a long-term follower of my channel. Go and give him a follow on Twitter, exposing the truth behind Neiro CTO. They claim to be community-driven, but the reality paints a different picture. What you're about to see reveals insider control, supply manipulation, and some seriously shady moves. Let's start with this innocent picture. Like crypto, you know, it's like a detective. Every day, someone goes to jail, FBI, exposed. It's like watching a show, right? It's crazy. Kraken Finance, Binance, you might want to pay attention. Yeah, of course, Binance is the cabal behind this thing. So you can see the main guy. Yeah, the main guy is like he's smoking cigarettes, testosterone like Chinese. Like I would say he would fucking cut you with a knife and he would not care. He would just light up a cigarette and leave right after, right? They have Neiro. Interesting solution to have the contract address on the banner, right? Probably something you would want on the banner, but considering the scenario of PvP, that definitely makes sense. And like strong Chinese guys. But yeah, just by the look at this guy, you can see he's not fucking around. Like all the sleeves, the shirt, nice. I like it. First, here's a look at the so-called creators of Neiro. They're not just a CTO. What we're seeing is a cabal controlling supply from behind the scenes. Take a closer look at this image and let's dig deeper. We see the same guy. He's not that masculine in this picture because he's doing some things and I believe he's a bit more fat than on the previous picture. And the less fat you are, the more masculine you are, right? Now, we see them in another shot with a Neiro CTO banner in the background. But what's that? Muden are the serial project launchers. Even Sato came from the same deployer address. This is getting more suspicious. Do your own research or you could end up as the next target. Sato came from their same deployer address. I'm not sure actually which Sato, right? Because there's so many cabals fighting around different things. It's crazy. So we see the Muden, we see the same guys with the banner of Muden. Maybe they just did it just for lose. Maybe they are behind this launch. And I believe Muden launch was also on Ethereum. For some reason, I actually think that Solana is not that popular in Asia, right? Because they probably understand what is shit. Like they understand where is scam right away, right? Let's talk about wallets. 1K address here is Binance 14 wallet, which EthersCon identifies as a non-custodial wallet controlled by Binance to store user deposits. Sounds simple, right? But dig deeper. Go check out the Neiro EthersCon page. If you filter by transaction activity, you'll notice a huge spike in activity on the day it was listed in Binance. Anyone? Red flag? Here's where things get really sketchy. Copy this address into the EthersCon 2 section. You'll find 93 pages of transactions from Neiro, all headed to Binance. Coincidence? I think not. This is how they supply control. This is how they hide supply control. They mix the transactions on centralized exchanges like Binance, making it hard to track. Once they hit the goals, guess what? They dump the tokens and walk away with the profits. There is more to this story, but this should give you a good idea of how they operate. And remember, Neiro Ethereum is the real community project. Be careful out there, don't become the next victim. And the guy is showing short on CTO Neiro, and he's showing long on Neiro, on the Cabal Neiro, right? This is the chart of Chinese CTO Neiro to Cabal US Neiro. This is something we can see that at this stage, Cabal Neiro is heavily outperforming Chinese Neiro. We might expect they returning to the range. However, the upside here is quite limited. The only thing is that this Neiro will break out heavily and will go back to the bottoms. And this will be happening, these things will be going to hundreds of millions out there, right? So this is the CTO Neiro. I still believe this is like one of the best narratives for this cycle, right? What you have to understand is that this type of news, like FUD about the teams, essentially news about the CEO of Godbit essentially going to jail in the US, right? These type of news, they're not coming out at the bottoms, like usually. They come out at the bottoms essentially in the bear markets, right? To get people out of the tokens, right? Do you think that actually a lot of scam Bitcoin videos, they were actually paid to create this sentiment that crypto is a scam, to get as many people as possible out of the coins, right? So, but coming back to this situation, this thing is pretty much topping, right? It was at $800 million market cap. We're still in heavy PvP scenario. The market is correcting currently. There is just no like upside currently to be buying this thing for the current market participants. It's topped, right? At the start of the correction, we got the news of the CEO of Godbit, the company who was market making this thing, getting into jail. Probably some things will be happening moving further. Maybe they will have to sell some of the SUI moving further, because they will have to pay for some fines, because he was saying that they bought a bunch of SUI at 0.5 level from Jump Capital, when Jump Capital was essentially dumping it because they got sued as well, right? And they are under investigation. And secondly is the FUD about their team, because you might say like that there is not a lot of evidence in this post, right? But it still got 150,000 views, and it's still getting views, and people are dumping based on this thing, because we can see that, interestingly, that movement of these things kind of correlates with this post as well, which is crazy. It's crazy to think that this post could have actually influenced the situation of the coin currently, that people are dumping hundreds of thousands of dollars from this thing. But partially it's connected obviously with the fact that it's topped and probably not a lot of short-term upside left. By the way, what we can check by the chart of Neiro CTO, as I just saw, is the future into the charts of GIGA. GIGA is somewhere here currently. What is currently here? SPX also. So they are in this corrective channel at this stage. I expect this corrective channel to prolong, right? They will have a breakout. They will set new all-time high, not higher from the previous all-time high. It would be like an exit pump for the people who would essentially, like, it would be a tip. Please exit, please exit. This is exit pump for you. Please exit. Sell, please sell, please sell, please sell. This would be the exit pump, right? And people who are buying currently, they would be expecting maybe like 1.5x. Well, the same thing as Muden. Do you remember I actually said that Muden is going to zero? Oh, $180 million market cap. Who could have said? I have fucking said that. I told you get out of Muden. I said it at $200 million market cap, right? So maybe you missed on the run 300 million. But in general, I saved you money. It's even better than making money in some cases, right? However, you do not get rich by saving money, right? Protecting the capital. We will all have to protect the capital. So this is the narrative for this thing currently. And based on this news, Neiro Campbell is actually pumping. It showed 40% pump on a daily. We kind of like printing these, like we had this core resistance level. You can see liquidity zone here. We touch this level here. Let me actually make it bigger for you, because some of them, looking at it from your like tiny fucking mobile devices, you can see shit, right? So we have this resistance area. We have here we touched it. Here we kind of have some liquidity. Here we have a bunch of liquidity for this area here as well. So I would say it's like a giant resistance area until we are back here. But even this area is like not that large as this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So that's why we're essentially getting a reaction from here. Once we break from here, well, it would be quite nice. I get liquidated 3 times on my longs on Neiro Campbell. I'm not alone currently. And by just hearing the fact that I'm not alone currently, people behind this coin, they might loan this thing. You might say, they might pump this thing. You might say that I'm crazy, but I truly believe that if I would not say that I'm long in this thing, we would not be dumping. People are dumping coins because they don't like me and they know that I'm long in this thing, right? So they don't want me to be right eventually. Maybe I'm just crazy, like who gives a fuck about me, right? So $77 million. People in this space, they have huge egos, you know? And when you say something about them, yeah, like it definitely fucks with them. Like all these huge egos, and partially it's because of the imposter syndromes, because they understand that deep down they're just taking money from single moms and hardworking men that don't know what are they doing, luring them into the traps, right? And that's where this imposter syndrome is essentially coming from, right? And that's why they all have like such a huge ego, right? But that's another topic, right? $78 million at this stage. Like, I want to long this thing. I would probably be longing this after the video. However, I also wanted to long it in the morning. And like, it's fucking scary, to be honest. Like, it's scary to me to belong in this thing at this stage. Probably I should just enter with a lower leverage and lower margin as well. It's 100% scary currently. And don't get me wrong, like right here, I actually had like a tingle before I went to sleep that day, and I longed like 100k worth. And when I woke up, I was 50k in profits, right? And I decided I want to hold, and essentially I was liquidated right here, right? Which is crazy. You think about that. 50k in profits, even like probably 70k at the tops, but I didn't cut the tops, right? And essentially liquidated from that position out there. That's why like I'm partially scared. But if you would think on a daily, if you would actually see the daily chart for this thing, daily chart kind of looks nice. Like you see this pattern showing up currently on Campbell Neiro out there, on US Neiro, and everything says that, yeah, upside is limited on CTO Neiro at this stage. Well, what's interesting is that at the same time, I do expect all-time high from Bitcoin this month, which means that like they will 100% be pumping Neiro CTO, and it should not be correcting heavily. One of the issues that I have with this thing is that if the team really thinks on pumping this thing, I would be expecting from the type of news that we are in currently for this thing to pump higher. It's either because people don't give a shit about it, and 100% people don't give a shit about this narrative at this stage, and I think it's a huge mistake, right? And secondly, is because they were just not prepared themselves. Maybe they've seen some reaction from the marketplace and they're preparing some things because they still control a bunch of supply. They still can do their things if they want to. And thirdly, maybe they were expecting a different type of reaction from the current scenario, because current scenario is kind of like bull case playing out for the Campbell Neiro, right? And if they're not using it, that definitely means that they just decided to essentially abandon this project. Maybe because CEO of Godbit actually knows them and he's going to share the details to FBI, and they need to get the fuck out of the US. Maybe this is the case, right? So this is something that's happening right here, right? And it's kind of hard to long from these levels. But this is probably like the feeling that I'm getting, man, you'll probably just lose a bunch of money one more time. Like, and this is exactly somewhere where you actually want to loan from. Like, this is exact emotional situation when you want to loan this thing moving further. And bull case scenario, yeah, FUD on CTO Neiro It's essentially topped locally, and usually in these PvP scenarios, like what's happening is that, because like I know quite a lot about PvP and other tokens in this space, right? PvP in some communities, some influencers, I know a lot. So what's happening is that if you are a smaller token, usually what happens is that when you're trying to pump and larger token essentially moves up, still in the process of moving up, people are selling the pump and buying into green candles of a larger token, not understanding the upside, not understanding that like even like 2 to 3x is max that they're getting at this stage, right? At this stage of the current pump. And this is just crazy to me, right? And especially if there is no leverage, right? But this is unfortunately the case. So when you pump and other coin is moving, this thing is often going down, right? What you need to wait for is actually the top of the pair and the top of the larger coin. So it need to exhaust all of the potential. And when it's local top already, people will be ready to reposition into a lower cap play. And it's probably already a more risk-on environment because essentially something was able to exhaust its potential on the short time frame. So this is the situation that's happening currently from my point of view. And I do and I do actually like the similarities that I just showed you behind Neiro CTO chart and GIGA and SPX chart. I think GIGA and SPX chart, they will 100% repeat the chart of Neiro CTO at this stage. And this thing with Neiro CTO topping should be going higher from these levels. It should be. And then it depends on the team, because you're kind of at the mercy of these people. Like if they decide to dump, they will just liquidate you. Just for the sake of you all, just for the fact these people won't be selling these because they might be hating me. Like, I'm not sure. I'm not planning to long in this thing. I will not be making money if you would be pumping. I will not be claiming any clout if this thing will be going higher. So this is my review of the current situation. I do think that Solana is also looking kind of bullish at this stage. And yeah, as mentioned, I'm expecting BTC all-time high this month. And one more time, what you have to understand, if you're expecting BTC all-time high this chart this month, please follow the charts that look like this. Buy into these charts, I beg you. Because the issue is, if we're seeing BTC all-time high this month and you are buying into this breakout or you're buying into something here, unfortunately it will correct. And we are coming into risk-on environment where most of the things will go up. So you have to honestly throw money into shitties and just wait. Yeah, it's hard to wait. Like if you probably would want to get your liquidity sooner than later, you probably should be throwing money into Solana shitties. However, I do expect Ethereum shitties to do quite well. Like I'm sitting in a bunch of Ethereum shitties myself at this stage. Lower caps, memecoins with good narrative and good teams as well. This is the overview. This is something I wanted to share regarding Neiro situation and regarding the current situation on the marketplace. Thank you for watching this video. I will be seeing you tomorrow. Stay healthy and rich.